Oh, you must be getting really fed up with me. Hello, fellow YouTubers, drone pilots and videographers. Steve here again. Listen, thank you for sharing my trials and tribulations regarding my video camera settings on my drones. Uh, yeah, I know I've been advocating 50 frames a second the last couple of videos. Um, that's before I saw the light, to be honest with you. You see, I live in Europe. In fact, I live in the UK. And we're told we have to film in a system called PAL, which is PAL, which means we can only film in either 25 or 50 frames a second, as PAL uses 50 hertz as its operating system. Now, in America, they use a system called NTSC, and they can film at either 30 or 60 frames a second, or even up to 120 frames a second for some nice slow-mo. Now, we can do that on our drones. You just put it into NTSC and we can film it. And as I say, I thought I was only able to shoot at 25 or 50 frames a second living in Europe on the PAL system. But I've been watching videos on my telly from YouTube from drone pilots who are shooting at 30 and 60 frames a second. Now I know they've been doing that because I've right-clicked on the video as it's been playing, and a box comes up, and at the very bottom of the box there was a list of options, and at the very bottom of the box it says very appropriately stats for nerds, and that's me. I'm a nerd. So I clicked on that, and another little box comes up with all the stats on that particular video clip, and it tells you the resolution it was shot in, and importantly to me, the frames per second. And the majority, not all, but the majority of the videos that I watched and enjoyed and thought, wow, it's just so smooth and crisp and clear. An amazing video. They were shot at either 30 or 60 frames a second. Now, I thought that I wasn't able to film in those frame speeds living in Europe, but having watched these clips on YouTube on my telly without any problems, everything went smooth. The telly didn't burst into flames or anything like that. I thought, well, obviously we can watch 30 frames a second and 60 frames a second on our tellies. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm filming everything at 30 frames a second or 60 frames a second, or if I'm feeling really daring and I want to get some nice slow-mo, I'll probably even knock it up to 120 frames a second and see what happens. Anyway, I just thought I'd let you know. By the way, I've got a G7 camera, which is a Panasonic G7 camera, which is a European Panasonic G7 camera, which was set at PAL, which means it was only able to film at 25 or 50 frames a second. And I had a look through some YouTube clips to see if I could get NTSC on my G7 camera, and there are a couple of video clips on there showing a hack that you can do with that particular camera, and I've done the hack, and now I can shoot at 30 and 60 frames a second on my G7s as well. So I've altered that camera. I've also altered my GoPro camera so that everything now is shooting at 30 or 60 frames a second, and that is where I'm going to stick, because the video that I'm getting, the smoothness of this video that I'm getting now is so much better than I was getting even at 50 frames a second, and I was quite pleased with that, to be honest with you. But I say the 30 frames a second, 60 frames a second is so much better. Okay, well, thanks for listening to me ramble on, and enjoy the rest of the clip. Bye for now.